East on three. 1, 2, 3, East.
Cobb Baseball Complex in Marietta, Georgia is the host of Perfect Games 12U Select Fest. We have the top 36 12U players in the country at All-Star format. It's Team East versus Team West under the Georgia sun. Hey, welcome. I'm Brett Dolden with John McAdams. Thanks for joining us. We have the pleasure of introducing these young men to you over the course of this afternoon, but John has the difficult aspect of identifying two for each team. So we'll start with the East. In fact, Mark Thompson, Calvin Madensbacher are guys that will be batting 1 and 2 in the lineup.
Yep, Thompson's going to look to jumpstart the East lineup. Just an innate ability to find the barrel on a consistent basis. Hit nearly 600 across the summer. And then you have Calvin Madensbacher, our National Pitcher of the Year, 138 strikeouts in just a little bit over 66 innings.
All right, for the West team, Jesse Maddox and then Tyler Early. In fact, he was our Player of the Year. Tell us about these guys.
Yep, Tyler, just ridiculous numbers on both sides of the baseball. He'll be into the low 80s, maybe touch at 85, and can lead the yard at any moment. And then you have the SoCal boy, Jesse Maddox, that sweet left-handed stroke. He'll also be on the mound later in the game, up to 80 miles an hour from the left side as well.
There's so much talent on this field and on these rosters. In fact, let's take a look at the West roster.
My name is Ashton Aguilar. I'm from Ventura, California, and I play catcher and I pitch.
Hi, I'm Christian Cho. I'm from Bedford, Texas. I play middle infield and pitcher.
My name is Tyler Early. I live in Houston, Texas, and I play first pitcher and outfield.
Hi, my name is Steve Emerson. I'm from Gresham, Oregon. I'm a pitcher.
Hi, my name is Kingston George. I'm from Lucas, Texas, and I'm an outfielder and pitcher.
Hi, my name is Leland Henry. I'm from Houston, Texas. I play first, third, and I pitch.
Hi, my name is Raylen Minaya. I'm from Packer, South Carolina, and I play center field and second.
Hi, my name is Evan Kilo. I'm from Corinth, Mississippi, and I play catcher, pitcher, and infield.
Hi, I'm Bowen Landry. I'm from Houston, Texas, and I play third and pitcher.
My name is Jesse Maddox. I'm from San Diego, California, and I play outfield and I pitch.
Hi, my name is Matthew Pride. I'm from Tomball, Texas. I play first, third, and pitcher.
Hi, my name is Giancarlos Nunez. I'm from Royce City, Texas. My main is catcher, play outfield, and first.
Hi, my name is Aiden O'Farrell. I'm from Orlando, Florida, and I play catcher, infield, and pitcher.
My name is Creed Peebles from Austin, Texas. I play first base, outfield, and pitcher.
Hi, my name is Paxton Scoggin from Durant, Oklahoma. I play short, second, and third.
Hi, my name is Brandon Sweeney. I'm from Newport Beach, California, and I play middle infield.
Hi, my name is Boston Targosh. I'm from Tony, Texas. I play catcher and middle infield.
Hi, my name is Kay Valdivia. I'm from the Cove, La Quinta, California, and I play outfield, first, and pitcher.
Always enjoy hearing those young men introduce themselves to us, and we'll get to see them play today. Part of the 2024 12U Select Festival, Team West versus Team East, here at the famous East Cobb Baseball Complex in Marietta, Georgia. Again, Brett Dolden, John McAdams, the West team will be the visitors today. And let's take a look at the lineup. Most of these guys, again, from the class of 2030. There are some 2029s as well, 7th graders. And our batting lineup presented by G-Form here for Team West at 18 players, John. So it does take a little while to kind of cycle through the lineup.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of offensive firepower here, so we might, who knows, we may see a bunch of runs, or we could have a pitching duel.
We had a bunch of runs a year ago in a high-scoring affair, but again, this is the lineup for Team West. Now, you spoke about this young man in the open, but I want to hear a little more about Calvin Madensbacher and why he is earning the opportunity to be the first pitcher today, in addition to being the pitcher of the year last night.
Sure. Like I said, he struck out 138 guys in just a little bit over 66 innings. He'll be into the low 80s, up to 83, really spins a slider, and it's just free, easy from the left side. It's fun to watch.
Got to get the cameras on those helmets before Team West steps in. This is an 8-inning game as opposed to a 7-inning contest. John, we really enjoyed watching the 11Us yesterday. Their talent was on full display. But the size and strength disparity between yesterday's 11s and today's 12s is striking.
Oh, yeah. Some of these guys look like grown men.
I was walking in with a husband and wife yesterday, and they were part of a different event, and the husband looks over and says, these are 12 years old, and she didn't believe it.
No, listen, if you're walking through and you're like, oh, my God.
I think we had that same thought process during the Home Run Derby, which just finished a few months ago. Kingston George, the winner, and, all 6 of the guys who participated put on an amazing show.
Yeah, those were some of the farthest balls I've ever seen hit in general on a baseball field, mindless of the fact that they're 12 years old.
All right, let's play ball, ladies and gentlemen. Fans, are you ready? Raylen Ray Hunter out of South Carolina, part of the Banditos, the 10 players that Ray DeLeon's Banditos have part of this game. Going to step in to lead things off. Good look at Raylen. Mom played softball. She was a shortstop. Dad was a wide receiver at Appalachian State. Also had an uncle that played at Middle Tennessee. And good bloodlines for many of these young players. And Hunter in, so a left-on-left matchup to begin our 12U Select Fest from East Cobb. And we are off and rolling. Nice firm fastball for strike one.
Yeah, Raylen's the catalyst at the top of the lineup for the Banditos, who's the number 1 team in the country in our Perfect Game 12U rankings.
And just an all-around athlete, which I think is fun. He's a wide receiver in football, best defensive player in basketball, plays baseball, basketball, football, and the seasons overlap even at this age. So he probably has to get home soon and put on some pads and a helmet. But one more big part of his summer here.
Sure, and that's the thing. All these guys are so talented and athletic that they can play multiple sports at such a high level.
Good pitch at the knees, painted from Maddensbacher for strike 3 to begin our first inning.
Number 42, Tyler Early.
Well, that fastball has a little plane to it as well at 81 miles an hour. I mean, it did not look to me out of the hands it was going to finish right around the knees.
No, and absolutely. He's a nice, short, repeatable arm stroke and carries through the zone right there.
Tyler Early, this is a big young man. And again, our player of the year from what he did, not just hitting, but also pitching. By the way, size 14 shoes at age 12, speaking to the strength and size.
Oh, yeah. He is a big human being in general.
Look a little like Ryan Howard right there in the batter's box with that open stance.
Oh, yeah. Might not be much smaller than Ryan either.
That's a good point. Well said. Got the pitcher of the year against the player of the year in this battle, and Maddensbacher painting right now. Hey, there's CJ. Charles Johnson, 2-time All-Star, World Series champion with the Marlins. Really a nice disposition for Charles around these young kids.
Yeah, and you can see kind of when he talks to them, just trying to instill some knowledge and experience that he's kind of accrued over his career, and it's amazing to see all these guys give back to the youth.
Just a calm setup for Maddensbacher before his next pitch is chopped on the ground to short. Nice big bounce off the carpet, and Early is retired on a play by Mason Miller for out number 2.
Yeah, Maddensbacher coming out right away, just pounding the strike zone with the fastball, mixing in that hard slider, trying to disrupt timing there, but pretty efficient, easy first 2 outs in the inning there.
This is Jesse Maddox. Talented young man. California kid from San Diego. See those 74 runs batted in this season for Let Them Play.
Tough assignment here, too, for the top of the West lineup, facing Maddensbacher left on left, 3 guys in a row.
Yeah, you know you're not going to get another at-bat for several innings. And then you get this guy out of the gates with pitches like that.
Yeah, and that slider from a 12-year-old to be able to spin the breaking ball like that is downright nasty.
0-2 the count, and Maddox will wave and miss, but that ball's going to go to the backstop, and he is going to reach. So a strikeout, wild pitch, and Maddox is aboard. Sometimes you can miss a pitch so badly that the catcher, of course, has a hard time corralling it in Luca Briggs. And that carpet will give you a little bounce as well. Didn't have much of a chance to tell you about Maddox, but his dad grew up playing baseball in San Diego with Carlos Quinton, a guy who I watched play a lot. Adrian Gonzalez went to high school with the likes of Mark Pryor. So he was around a lot of good ones. And this is Leland Henry, another Houston kid. Takes that pitch a little bit down. Big Drew Henry.
To that at-bat, Madensbacher versus Maddox. I don't know if people realize that Madensbacher changed the tilt and manipulated the spin there on 3 consecutive breaking balls, changing that view for the hitter.
How advanced is that for this age?
It's crazy.
I mean, there are guys at the high school or college level that might not anticipate that type of adaptation within the course of one at-bat.
No, absolutely. And that's just an advanced feel to kind of spin the baseball and lots of hard work.
Pitch a little bit down to Henry. Says he's a mama's boy at heart. But he was born with asthma, and doctors said he wouldn't be able to play sports. Well, here he is, one of the best 12U players in the country, looking to do some damage. Very calm in the batter's box. That's a chopper to third. That's off the foot. That's a foul ball. It's hard to hide those big shoes. Henry with a little bit of a limp.
It's a tough pitch, too, down and into a righty. Sometimes Madensbacher cuts the fastball a little bit, trying to get off that barrel there.
Henry says the opportunity means the world to me to be here at this Select Fest and showcase his talent. He's going to take first base. So a strikeout that could have ended the inning, but then a walk, and now a couple of guys on for Team West. Aiden O'Farrell, next man in. Talk about these players coming really from all over the country. How about Puerto Rico as well for Aiden?
Yeah, and Aiden, we've seen Aiden a lot with the Central Florida Suns and some of our bigger events, and just consistent performer, really athletic guy.
I tell you, he's a Carlos Correa fan. That probably wouldn't surprise you, right? Or Francisco Lindor?
No, not at all. Really good hack there, too, from him sitting on the fastball.
Could have been a really quick inning. In fact, it's been an impressive inning for Madensbacher, but still a couple of runners on base with 2 outs. And that's the pitch right there. I mean, you see that. You know it's in the zone. You're not exactly sure, but it's a pitch these hitters have been taking.
Yeah, and that's something like, hey, it's coming through the zone. I don't know if it's going to get there. It carries through, and what are you going to do with that pitch anyway?
Chopper tap foul. Runners are off with the pitch. Scheduled for 8 innings and 16 pitchers, so we get an opportunity, a little sample of what these guys can do, and then we move on to the next. That's a sweeping pitch that Madensbacher was hoping to get strike 3 on.
And Madensbacher's getting ahead early with the fastball and going to that slider.
It's down and in with that boring fastball. Now the count has gone full. Sometimes when you have overwhelming stuff, these hitters take a lot because they're not confident maybe of being able to dial one up. And if you're not getting calls, you're a little bit off. You might get to some deep counts. Runners go, and that's high, and that is ball 4. So after a quick start with a couple of outs, now the bases are loaded for our home run derby champion just a few moments ago in Kingston, George. And I have a hard time even expressing how much I enjoyed watching his strength, his bat speed, and his ability to launch balls.
Yeah, that bat speed's something to be said for a 12-year-old. He's been in plenty of pressure situations, too, so he's got a slow heartbeat. This should be a good matchup here early in the game to see who can come out on top.
Lucas, Texas native for King George. Father played at Maryland for baseball, went on to play in the Orioles minor league system. Mom was a goalie for the sport of lacrosse at Maryland. Uncle's a national champion wrestler, a Team USA wrestler who competed in Russia, so he has some interesting and talented bloodlines as well.
We saw right there on that first strike, just that you're geared up for the fastball, and then all of a sudden he throws the slider, and then he went to the fastball again, so it's a tough bat against Madensbacher.
Yeah, the sequencing is really fun. This pitch requested on the outside corner, and Madensbacher painted. So the bases remain loaded. In all, a couple of back 3 strikeouts for Madensbacher.
At first, it was just a team. Now I can't imagine my life without them.
That coach changed our son, on the field and off.
My name is Luca Briggs. I'm from Chesterfield, Virginia. I play first, third, catch, and I pitch.
My name is Miguel Cabrera. I'm from Miami, Florida, and I play third and I pitch.
My name is Austin Coleman. I'm from Spring Hill, Tennessee, and I play third base and first base.
I'm Landon Davis from Beaufort, South Carolina, and I play catcher.
Hi, my name is Michael Jimenez. I'm from Bronx, New York, and I'm a middle infielder.
Hi, my name is Ryan Johnson Jr. I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I play first, third, and outfield.
My name is Max Kimbrough. I'm from Hartselle, Alabama. Play third, first, and pitcher.
Hi, my name is Calvin Maidensbacher. I'm from Clayton, North Carolina. I play outfield and pitch.
Hi, my name is Mason Miller, Stafford, Virginia. I play shortstop, pitcher, and the outfield.
Hi, my name is Raymond Minaya. I'm from Staten Island, New York. I'm an outfield first base pitcher.
Hi, my name is Noah Osterman. I'm from Noonan, Georgia, and I'm an outfielder and a pitcher.
Hi, my name is Stephen Pio. I'm from Yardley, Pennsylvania, and I pitch and I play outfield.
Hi, my name is Jesse Sobro. I'm from Yonkers, New York, and I play outfield and pitcher.
My name is Jason Sway Jr. I'm from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I play outfield and first.
My name is Mark Thompson. I'm from Jackson, Florida, and I play outfield.
Hi, my name is Trey Vandergriff. I'm from Milton, Georgia, and I play middle infield and pitch.
Hi, my name's Cohen Ward. I'm from Kennesaw, Georgia, and I play third and first base.
Hi, my name is James Watson. I'm from Canton, Georgia, and I play outfield and I pitch.
Well, that is Team East, and here is their batting lineup presented by Yeti. Again, most of these players, some from the class of 2030, others from the class of 2029, 18 players. So it might take a while to cycle through this lineup, but we'll see what type of offensive game we get today. And this is Mark Thompson going to face Tyler Early in the bottom of the first inning.
Yep, another guy who's going to be in the low 80s from the left side. See if the East can put some pressure on him here early. Thompson, that we talked about in the beginning, real advanced approach, so has seen this type of stuff before.
6'2", 225 pounds for Tyler Early. Asked him yesterday what high school he will go to in Houston, and these kids are again a couple of years away from that. He said Tomball. Of course, Tomball was the state champion in Texas with Aaron Beatty and C.J. Sampson and a few others. So I would say they'll be very good for a long time once they get more of these kids in there.
Tomball's one of those, they just reload year in and year out.
Now, Thompson's from Jacksonville, Florida. He has a cousin in the major leagues. Did pitch for Tampa Bay, now for Arizona. And there's a wave and a miss. So Thompson down on strikes to begin the bottom of the first inning. Well, this pitch was filthy.
Oh, yeah. Went to that thing we talked about, Madensbacher, too, just the ability to spin the breaking ball at such a young age, the depth and tilt that had.
So we saw Calvin pitching in the top of the first, now batting in the bottom of the frame. Early grounded out against Madensbacher. Now he gets to bat against Early. So you're going back to back. This is old school baseball right here.
Another tough left-on-left matchup. So it'll be exciting to see who wins this battle this time.
Calvin's from North Carolina, a Freddie Freeman fan who says he hates pizza. I'm not sure I even understand how that's possible, but to each his own. The pitch a little bit outside from Early, and there's the dugout ready to get up there and take their cracks, or maybe it's just very warm in that dugout and they can't wait to get out.
Yeah, 18 guys on each roster. There's probably a lot of hot air coming out of there.
Next pitch up and out.
See right here if Madensbacher gets the 3-0 green light.
Calvin said he really loved watching old videos of Ken Griffey Jr. And I think we had some fun with these kids last night, showing them pictures of Joe Mauer and some of the veterans, or Todd Helton, and wondering if they even knew who they were. But there's still a few that have long since stopped playing like Griffey who they remember. That's a pretty good take. What looked to be a nice pitch, but Madensbacher will walk to reach here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, it looks like it just missed right there on the inner half.
Brings up Christopher Cabrera.
This should be a fun matchup, too. Cabrera's hand speed with Early's low 80s fastball. See what happens here.
Chris plays for CT National Prospects, Miami Country Day, 7th grade. Part of the 11U Select Fest a year ago. This year, though, is a little bit different in the sense that Dad can be here to watch. There's a swipe of second base, and that ball rolled away. In fact, last year, of course, Father Miguel, future Hall of Famer, was finishing up his last season in the Major Leagues. But this time around, Dad can be here. So I got a feeling Dad probably enjoys that more than the son. But when you can finish your career and then be able to be around your kids when they start this incredible journey is a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. It's got to be one great of an experience for them.
Think they want this pitch outside? There's Ryan Klesco, another former World Series champion. He just really enjoys being around these young men. I mean, sometimes in an all-star format, you're encouraging these kids and whatnot. He's trying to make an impact. He's trying to offer them some suggestions on what he sees with their swings. And he was telling the kids to get hydrated, especially the California kids. He said, you guys haven't played in this much over the course of your life. So, he was fully vested this weekend.
Oh, yeah, he's trying to instill that experience, that knowledge, telling them different little cues and mental thought processes that he has about winning the next pitch, and forget about it. And this game's a high-failure game, so just awesome to see him kind of give back.
Open stance near to the plate for Cabrera. That's a nice stop behind the plate. Well done by Targach to keep Madensbacher from advancing.
Yeah, Targach back there is like a wall. He's familiar with Early, obviously playing with that Banditos team, and legendary coach Ray DeLeon.
Well, as someone who calls a lot of SEC baseball, I thought I was done with Targach's for a while, but apparently I am not. Maybe a few years down the road.
I don't know. He said he likes their colors, too.
Looking for the first round of our 12U Select Fest. Real good pitch. Right on the outside corner.
Yeah. Early dotted that on the outer half. Good pitch right there.
That's one of those, as a hitter, you're like, that's not fair. I mean, that's firm. Maybe just a little bit off that outside corner. Really tough to do much with that. It plays perfectly. And this is Godzilla, Jesse Soberall Jr. See the 33 home runs this year for the New York native.
And Early does such a good job of getting extension out in front and getting through the baseball and staying on top of his fingers that you get that ride through the zone, and then right there he snapped off that breaking ball for strike one.
I'm seeing why these two young men were picked to start the game for both of these two teams.
Yeah, we might have known something.
You did. That was a nice stop, but a good read on the ball in the carpet. And Mensbacher advances on what'll be a wild pitch with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, definitely the competitiveness is flowing here. A lot of these guys have played against each other in some of our biggest events on the PG youth platform.
Pitch way in, 2 balls and a strike to Soberall Jr., who last night was named the 12U Offensive Player of the Year. We read off these numbers last night. 195 hits, 184 runs batted in.
Yeah, Jesse's a guy who made the 11U game last year too, and I call him literally an absolute hitting machine because every single moment he has, he finds the barrel and seemingly finds a hit at all times.
What a pick at first, though, by Leland Henry to end the inning. No score after 1 inning.
Back on PGTV with Miguel Cabrera, 2-time AL MVP, 12-time All-Star. He's here watching his son Chris here. Miguel, first of all these kids are really trying to make it to the show. This is their dream. What do you remember about being their age?
I mean, have fun. It's like I play the game in the big league. Go out there and play hard and try to have fun and win the game. That's it. It's simple.
Watching your son Chris here, give us a little scouting report. What makes him so special?
I mean, I always tell him, like, make contact to the ball. Don't try to hit home runs, play hard, and have fun. You know what I mean? Like, this is a special age, 12 years old, so now he's going to jump to 60, 90 in 13, so it's going to be different. So he has to join this to get to the next step.
You were at the banquet last night with the kids. What advice do you have for them?
I mean, keep working hard, you know what I mean? It's a long way to go to sign a professional deal, but you need to work hard to get in there, and it's a long way to go. So it's like step by step. Don't hurry up.
Thanks so much, Miggy.
All right, thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thank you, Bria. So many things strike me about Cabrera that we'll introduce our pitcher as well. But he was a guy that had more than 3,100 hits and more than 500 homers, but still had a batting average well over 300. That's tough to do in today's day and age. 2-time MVP and 7-time Silver Slugger. But, Johnny, he was a 4-time batting champion and a Triple Crown winner back in 2012.
Yeah, and like you just said, in this day and age, to be able to hit for average, homer, and power, and then amass that amount of hits is just an otherworldly type thing. And his approach, like you said, he tells Chris not to hit home runs, make contact, and then the other stuff will happen.
All right, new pitcher this inning, Brian Johnson Jr. Tell us about him.
Yeah, Brian Johnson, as you can see, high-waisted, uber athlete. You're going to see him into the low 80s as well. And just by the long leverage that he's able to create and extend out in front, he's another exciting arm we have here at that 12U age group.
Going to face Bowen Landry, another H-Town kid who can hit a golf ball 280 yards. So I would imagine he could do some damage with the baseball as well.
Yeah, Bowen's another two-way guy. You'll see him on the mound later, up to 80, 81 miles an hour. Just really athletic group of 12-year-olds here on a baseball field.
His dad confirmed last night, though, that indeed he can crush the golf ball. But, a tough kid as well. He pitched the finals of the Baton Rouge NIT with a broken thumb. The thumb was outside of his glove because he couldn't close it.
That's that thing right there, toughness or that willingness to compete at such a young age that hopefully bodes well for the future for Bowen.
Rolls hitting that pitch for a strike near the top of the zone.
Nice little breaking ball there, just disrupting timing, showing him he's got something else.
Part of the gold medal Team USA squad last year in Taiwan. Choking up a little bit on that bat down in the count 1-2. Ryan Johnson Jr. ready to deal. And did he clip him? He did.
That's the thing, too. Like Miggy just talked about making contact. He had 2 strikes, old school, choked up on the bat, looking to just make contact, put it in play, put pressure on the defense.
We're lucky to be here on such a cool day in Atlanta, where the feels like is 91 now, that humidity. It wouldn't be Georgia in the summer if that wasn't cranked up a bit, but we've been here when it's been much worse.
Yes, oh yeah, you can see that turf, and once it gets boiling, it's not fun.
Paxton Scoggin next in.
Yeah, Paxton's an Oklahoma kid, another member of that Banditos team. Just a real good middle infielder here. Baseball instincts, baseball IQs off the charts with Paxton here.
Pitch kicks away off the carpet. And then after a throw down to second base, it's going to result in advancement to third by Landry. A lot going on in this sequence. So it was the stolen base, not the wild pitch, but then trying to get him back at second base, maybe an ill-advised throw.
Yeah, just a heightened situation, trying to make play happen. Remember, they're still 12 years old.
Pitch bounces, nice block behind the plate by Luca Briggs. Good look at Paxton. Said he played this summer at about 75% from a health standpoint with a lower leg injury. Spent hours in physical therapy and training so he could still keep playing. Had a grandfather, Phil Scoggin, who played football at A&M and then in the NFL, 5 years with the Dolphins. Was Briggs okay?
No, what happened there?
Charles Johnson, behind the plate a long time in his baseball career, comes out to check. Got him on the knee, just beyond that shin guard. Just outside of the padding. And just took him down.
Yeah, that's a tough spot.
Just maybe an inch or so beyond the edge of that shin guard. It's hard for us to see because the shin guards, in a sense, match the pants. But you could tell when he went down, it didn't get guard, it got kneecap.
Yep, that white on white look right there. Two real quick while we have it. Tony Harper out there, our national youth director there. Shout out to him just with all the great events that he puts on a yearly basis and continues to do everything he possibly can for these kids.
Briggs gets a round of applause from the parents and fans. He's going to stay in. And, you know, if you're Briggs, you just want this inning to end, but a couple of runners and no outs, so there's a little more work to be done. And Boston Targach next in. Briggs having a hard time kind of fighting that just a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, and as you see, too, a lot of these guys, the first couple innings, they had familiarity between the backstop and the pitchers. Now this is a guy Luka hasn't caught before, which in the all-star format can be tough for guys.
Especially because you don't get to go warm them up in the bullpen either. I mean, the first time you see them is those warm-up tosses. Pitch to Targac, fouled right back.
For a good swing from there, Boston, timing-wise.
Another one of those banditos from DeLeon on a 124-game winning streak. 12U PG World Series champions, 12U PGI national champions. So it has been a run, and when you see 10 of those players here in this event, you understand why they might be on this string of dominance. But as you could imagine, they're quite proud of that because this is baseball. You get tripped up every now and then, but they have avoided that over the course of 124 straight games.
Yeah, and like you said, Brett, they have 10 members here, 2 on the East and 8 on the West. So just that amassing of talent that they're able to do, and they go out and just put on a show for 124 straight games now.
Run home this inning without the benefit of a hit. Targac has a chance. Fly ball, ground ball, maybe to provide another run for the West team. The West won the 11U game yesterday here at East Cobb. Strike called, and down goes Targac. First out of the inning for Brian Johnson Jr. Charles Johnson out for a quick mound visit.
Yeah, just looking to settle him down.
Hey, next Sunday, want to encourage you to tune in to Perfect Game TV to watch the Perfect Game All-American Classic at Chase Field in Arizona, home of the Diamondbacks, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You can watch it on the app as well as the other avenues there on the graphic. Always a great event. These young men earn their trip to the All-American Classic based on their performances in the National Showcase, and you can't help but really enjoy watching the talent that's on full display in a big league ballpark.
Absolutely.
During this pitching change, Coleman coming on. We'll take you back to yesterday. Watch some of the highlights and what was the 7-5 win. Had a couple of home runs, John, in the game, including Carlo Rivera.
Yep. Carlo was our National Pitcher of the Year, and we talked about it in the opening. If I was more excited to see his left-handed swing or his 82-mile-an-hour fastball, and he did a little bit of both.
Yeah, the answer was yes to that. And then, of course, had a 5-run inning. This one didn't quite get out, but off the fence, and all the scoring that they did was in this one inning.
Yeah. They got that 5 spot, and then the West came back there.
Well played, well pitched game over the course of the afternoon. There's Leha, kid from Katy, Texas, coming across. How about, though, the opposite field home run we saw from Herrera?
Yeah, literally stayed on that ball. We talked about it. These guys at 11 years old, just that approach to be able to sit back, wait long enough, not get too jumpy, and drive the ball to the opposite field gaps.
Ruben Elias was our MVP. He did this not once but twice. Driving balls the other way, low line drives, picking up 3 RBIs over the course of the game to earn MVP honors. This is how the final couple of runs would score. This ball poked out to left. It dropped. Did a little bit of damage. Ball that was hanging up there but would find some turf. And a 7-5 final for Team West. On the pitch now is Austin Coleman taking over for Brian Johnson Jr. And there's a ground ball to short. It's going to provide a run, but a ground out. So off the bat of Creed Peoples. Didn't waste any time. Put that in play and chases home Scoggin, the second run.
Batting number 27, Giancarlo Nunez.
Tennessee native is Austin Coleman. Look at that earned run average for more than 53 innings of work. That's an incredible ratio of strikeouts to walks.
And that's exactly where I was going to go. And Austin's a guy who we've seen over the summer and just continues to throw strikes, pounds the zone, lets his stuff play. He'll be in the low 80s as well. 14 guys in totality between these two teams have touched 80 miles an hour in our perfect game events.
So if you're waiting for relief as a hitter, you're not going to find much.
Absolutely not.
J.C. Nunez in from Royce City, Texas. He's played in cool events, the Super NTIs, and Austin, Beaumont, McKinney, League City got to compete in the Beast of the East, the PG National World Series, the PGI in Mississippi. What's impressive, I think, he says he's learned from all of these experiences. Each game and tournament has taught him new strategies on how to work better with his team, and it's made him more confident, showed him how important practice and teamwork are. And again, I think that's a pretty advanced understanding for a 12-year-old.
Absolutely, and that's the type of platform that Perfect Game is able to create. We talked about it earlier. Tony Harper, our national director in the youth, just the amount of events, the exposure, and kind of that we have all together now.
And Nunez with a single in the center field, congratulated by Ryan Klesco. A couple of runs have scored this inning, but that's the first hit here in the second for the West.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting, stayed back, got the barrel to the fastball in time, and shot it back through the middle.
California native Ashton Aguilar, next man in.
You see that fastball there from Coleman just exploding out of his hand.
Two outs in the inning, 2 runs have come across. Aguilar made the 11U Select Fest game a year ago, and this year it was his goal to make it again, and said he's blessed to be able to play at this level and be recognized by PG.
Coleman way here, went to the breaking ball.
Aguilar just makes enough contact to stay alive. Young man's dad played college baseball at Cal State Northridge. Uncle played at Earl Roberts and professionally in the Rockies organization. Got a brother that plays football and baseball in high school, a sister that plays soccer, so it's a busy athletic family. Really going into a crouch here with 2 strikes and 2 outs. Nice pick behind the plate, and the throw was really close. But Nunez able to get in there.
Yeah, nice recovery there by Luca. Throw on the money, just a little bit behind.
And Kimbrell been able to be on the base. I think this was going to be an out. He was trying to get to the bag and find the low throw and whatnot. Chop it to third. Kimbrell with a nice backhand. Low throw, but it's picked at first base. Scoop by Ward, and that will end the inning. Couple of runs score on 1 hit, so the West team is on the board first in the Select Fest.
You really think you're good, don't you? You're 18 years old. You're playing with a drop 5, USSSA, and you're not swinging this bat, you're not in the game. Look at this barrel. Look at the design. I mean, you hit a home run and you hit a home run and you bat flip it, and then you go and it's like, oh, he's using the tank. Like, listen, okay. You want to hit balls like this, kid? Get this bat. I mean, if you're 13 years old and you're not swinging this bat, you're not in the game. We got the
Welcome back to East Cobb, Marietta, Georgia. New pitcher, Christian the Panda Cho out of Bedford on the pitch. Here in the bottom of the second inning with the West team in front 2-0. Bedford, Texas native. You see his numbers, and again, a tremendous ratio from strikeouts to walks.
That's the thing, too, that kind of is amazing. See all these guys creeping into the low 80s, and Christian will be another guy. Just their ability to throw strikes and repeat that delivery despite the velocity.
Another one of our Select Fest athletes at the 11U range, and has earned the opportunity to be back here as a 12U player as well.
Christian's going to be a guy, tons of arm side runs, little two-seam action, and that, what everybody likes to call that frisbee slider nowadays.
Mason Miller ready to lead off this inning. Virginia native. One of our Select Fest is heading off to Virginia soon.
Yep, in 2 weeks we'll be at University of Virginia for our 13 deal.
Miller played for the Sports Academy Legends. Would love to play in the Major League someday, or maybe Vanderbilt. First pitch swinging. Hard on the ground to second base. That ball was tagged, but right at Aguilar, and Miller is retired by Cho to begin the second.
Yeah, really nice swing there from Miller.
Well, brings up Landon Davis, and he was one of those that reached the finals of the Home Run Derby, and I would say there was a couple of moments I thought he might win that event, as impressive as he was today.
Yeah, he went on a streak there of 6 or 7 in a row, and thought he was going to catch George there at the end.
And 11 homers in the first round to get to the championship round, where just 2 competed. Says he likes to swing, and this year he feels like he's been walked and pitched around a lot. It's hard because he just wants to cut it loose and swing. I would think in an event like this you might be challenged.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, it's going to work around you.
Yeah, you got to have the bragging rights.
Loves to hit the small-sized baseballs and golf balls. Feels like it helps him focus on finding the sweet spot. Big Tommy White fan. Drafted this past year out of LSU. Been offering at that one. That was a little bit outside.
He's got a little bit Tommy White to him from a physical attribute, a little bit wider stance, some flow in the back coming out of the helmets, chains.
I can see that. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Cho. Wave and a miss. And Cho has set down a couple of hitters quickly in the second inning. Well, that's well placed.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, that was a breaking ball. So a well-placed breaking ball by a 12-year-old on the outer half.
Just a little hump to it right on that outside edge. This is Raymond Minaya from Staten Island. And, John, correct me if I'm wrong, but moving to the Dominican?
Yeah, so he has been training in the Dominican and will be a potential 2028 international sign.
Big L.A. De La Cruz fan. Said the greatest baseball moment, though, he's had was getting a call to come be a part of this Select Fest.
Yeah, Raymond was a good phone call there.
I bet it was. Strokes that one into left for a base hit. I was just watching that stance. That had a little L.A. De La Cruz look to it, too, and he sprays one into left. Not only for the first hit of the inning, but that's the first hit for Team East.
That's kind of what we talked about, too, Cho, with that lower arm angle, sinker. Minaya stayed on it and shot it to left field.
Stephen Pio out of Yardley, Pennsylvania. No advancement right there.
Aggressive hack there from Pio early, trying to hunt that fastball.
Pio's an interesting kid. See, pretty good size, but a two-time Pennsylvania State Wrestling champion. Won the middle school wrestling championship. And this year in baseball, if you think wrestling might be a sport because he's a state champion, hit 83 home runs this year. Now, I don't know if at some point you just stop collecting those or whether you have buckets in your garage for your batting practice bag on all the home runs you've hit this year.
Listen, if you hit that many, then that means you get to hit a lot of batting practice, so I would put them in my bucket too.
You'd want to retrieve and have those played back in. There's some kids that remember, a handful of home runs they hit playing youth baseball. Well, he might have a hard time remembering most when you connect for 83. Elevates here, but pops it up in foul territory, and it's going to land on the dugout.
You kind of see in Pio's aggressiveness, too. Maybe that wrestling background comes out. And he's trying to go deep here.
He has a couple of younger brothers. He loves talking hitting with the young kids, working with them. That's a pretty good pitch to try and advance on, and barely is Minaya in there. That was an aggressive run, and Targac was hoping for a chance maybe to throw him out. I don't know.
I don't know either.
The super slow-mo makes that look like maybe that was a break for Team East. There's a ground ball off the end of the bat, finding its way to left for a base hit. And Minaya around third will score the first run of the game for the East. And a little dance at an RBI as well. And Stephen Pio just found the right spot.
Yep, we talked about him being aggressive. Even though he had 2 strikes there, he still put it in play, put pressure on the defense, and see what happens for the first run there for East.
Wide turn, and then he decided to continue on to second base. Another close play. James Watson, Georgia native, takes a strike. Last year, Watson, being a Georgia native, came to watch the 11U Select Fest just to see the guys he's played with and against, and he really wanted to be out there. He said he put his head down, he went to work. And last year, he accomplished his goal of being here today and playing in the 12U game. He's doing more than that. Driving one to right, up, out, and gone. Last year here watching, hoping to play, and in his first at-bat as a Select Fest participant, hits a 2-run homer. Just dancing around the bases into the arms of his teammates.
Yeah, really nice swing from there. Aggressive on the fastball and drove that deep to right center field.
And there goes the bat. There goes the flip. Jason Spray Jr., next man in, tried to hold his bat back, but he is fortunate that goes foul. Making some memories today for James Watson.
Absolutely, the hometown boy.
Jason Spray Jr. from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. I believe that's the hometown of David Price. Let that one hug the chalk, and Spray's going to get a swinging bunt, in essence, for a base hit.
Next batter, pitcher number 2, Luca Briggs.
This one just stayed fair. Spray said being selected just really makes him feel proud to be recognized It's one of the top 36 in this group. This is Luca Briggs. Big bouncer to second base. That was a kangaroo hop off the carpet. Aguilar made the play and ends the inning. So Team East was in danger of not getting on the board this frame. Got an RBI single from Peel. Then James Watson connects our first homer of the Select Fest and a bat flip. Got to find some shade here at East Cobb. Bring your umbrella and find the spot to watch our 12U Select Fest. Coleman came on and got a couple of outs when Brian Johnson Jr. left, and he was scheduled to pitch the third, so back out there for a clean inning.
Yep, he came on with some traffic and did a nice job of throwing strikes and getting out of there and minimizing the damage.
Brandon Sweeney
Leading off shortstop, number 9.
is going to lead things off.
Sweeney.
California native from Newport Beach. First pitch of the inning, rides in there for a strike.
Yeah, and as you see, Coleman's working down in the zone. Got a little bit of sink to the fastball.
Always fascinated by multi-sport athletes, John, and we see some football players and basketball and whatnot, but Sweeney a little bit different. He plays midfield for a lacrosse team called USA West that finished the season ranked 6th in the country, highest ranked team on the West Coast, and it's a year-long national tournament called the Nike Circuit where they placed third, so been busy.
Oh, yeah, he's been busy. He was an alumni last year from the 11U game, so hasn't stopped, as we can see.
Last year, tore the UCL ligament in his right thumb in late December. It's unclear if he'd be able to play spring baseball. He was able to avoid surgery, took some time off, went through physical therapy, had to wear a cast for 6 weeks, a brace for another 3 months. He goes down on strikes to begin the third inning.
Big bender there, right from Coleman. Manipulating a little bit. We saw a little bit firmer slider there early in his appearance, but went to the big breaking curveball there.
And it brings up Evan Kilo from Mississippi. Swinging, strike one. Another guy who had to deal with an injury, arm injury the first 6 weeks, came back strong, hit 3 home runs in his first 3 at-bats back. And that is a welcome back moment, to say the least. Hit a couple of home runs in a championship game in Cooperstown this year. Got a pitch to hit there and swung through it.
Yeah, Evan's a kid we saw at the PGI for his Easily Baseball squad, and he was impressive on both sides of the baseball.
And another kid who wears size 14 shoes. So, you know, he's not done growing.
No. Not by a shot here.
But after that pitch, tell you what, Coleman, who did a nice job in the second, coming on when he wasn't supposed to pitch, has had a couple of Ks here in the third.
Yep, and that's that firmer breaking ball that I just mentioned earlier. So again, just showing that aptitude to spin it, manipulate the ball a little bit, which is crazy to say from a 12-year-old.
Now, feels like kind of a common theme today, and I think it shows, again, the advanced, not just talent, but thought process for these young men. Of course, then you're bragging about a guy pumping strikes, and there's one that goes behind somebody's head, and the Panda's saying, my goodness.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too. They play a lot of competitive games. They have routines and hitting coaches and pitching coaches and so forth, too, and just the ever-growing perfect game platform at the youth baseball level.
It's got to be Mom, right? Joe said not that long ago he went through a 6-month hitting slump last fall, part of the spring. Really had to work hard and lean on his support system to overcome it, become a stronger hitter.
Three balls, one strike.
Last year, the pitcher of the year at the 11U Select Festival. Tell you what, he's had a couple of pitches to pull the string on. Now you're worried you might get the breaking ball if you've taken the fastballs.
Oh, yeah. That's what Coleman's been doing a good job of, disrupting timing, tunneling well with both those pitches.
Just some heat, and that's a wave and a miss. Nice job by Coleman. In addition to finishing off the second, he strikes out all 3 hitters he faces in the third. Good talent on display today in Georgia.
I'm in the bag, load it all in that rear view. Clean money in the black whip, got old problems with a friends new.
Back here on PGTV with the Turtle Box Game Break. I'm here alongside Ryan Klesco. We've got so much talent, not only on the field, but in the dugout as well. You're like my 4th major leaguer that I've gotten to talk to. Why do you decide to come back every year and give back to the game?
I tell you what, I would have never made it to the majors, even a high level or low level, if it wouldn't have been from all the help from my coaches, my mom, and all the people. It's just my chance to get back to the game. And I love working with the kids, both sides, east, west, doesn't matter. Such a great talented group, the 11s and 12s. It's just an honor to be able to be out of here.
You're very active in BP, helping out the kids with their swings and everything. What are some of the things that you're telling them?
Just some general stuff is balancing the box, make sure they're striding straight and getting their shoulders square to the pitcher and clean up a lot of the diving and kind of stuff like that. We're just trying to create all the energy back to the pitcher, and that's what we've been working on, especially at early age like this.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach. Back to you guys.
It's interesting. I think Ryan's on to something as Cohen Ward bats this inning against Teague Emerson. And in the sense, I hear him talking to guys about just kind of drifting and leaning and getting into that back leg. And sometimes it's always not difficult. It's the simple things that we move past when we're a little bit out of whack.
Yep, and that's the thing. What he talked about, balance and just staying simple and directing that energy back through the big part of the field. And it may sound simple, but it's a big thing, just consistently finding the barrel there.
Good look at Teague Emerson, an Oregon native here in the Select Fest out of the class of 2029. Facing Cohen the Hammer Ward, leading off the bottom of the third inning. Big Austin Riley fan. His dad is the CEO of a center that helps people with disabilities be successful, and he wants to make a difference, too. He hooks this one on the ground to second base. Should be an easy play on the carpet, and is for Aguilar. And that's how the Bottom of the third begins.
And Emerson came out throwing strikes, getting ahead. Another guy we'll see upper 70s. A little bit unorthodox with that shorter arm stroke, but he can really spin a breaking ball as well. The common theme is we're seeing that these guys can really pitch.
This is Miguel Jimenez out of the Bronx. Says he knows the flag of every country in the world, and I think the last 2 weeks that would come in pretty handy watching the Olympics, trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I think it'd be a pretty cool exercise to kind of accomplish there.
I was watching that arm swing from Emerson. You're right. It is different. It's not that full swing. It's kind of a short arm, and you could see where it might cause some problems for some of these hitters just seeing the baseball if you haven't faced him before.
Yeah, he hides it well. It kind of comes out of the ear, and it's tough to see if he's going to go fastball, breaking ball.
Almost kind of like he's throwing a dart. You'll see it here from this angle.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of a couple of big league guys that have similar mechanics. Shot foul right behind the plate.
3-2, full count.
One out here in the bottom of the third inning. Well, Jimenez said all he could do to duck out of the way.
Now batting extra hitter number 42, Ryan Johnson Jr.
Ryan Johnson Jr. next man in. So Brian on the mound, now in the box.
And Brian kind of follows that theme as well of 12-year-olds that look like grown men. Really athletic kid here, high-waisted, long levers guy. Let's see what he can do at the plate.
Says he can eat 52 pieces of sushi in one sitting. So that sounds expensive. But, these young men, they're not afraid to put some calories in those young bodies. Called it a great honor to be here at the Select Fest. Says it's a testament to his hard work. That's a tough pitch in there for a strike. And he said he appreciates perfect game for this platform. So, that's a well-spoken young man. Had a father that played college football at Austin Peay, was a middle linebacker.
We talked about that arm stroke with Emerson, too, and he broke off that breaking ball with nice depth to it, too. That's going to be tough for a 12-year-old to kind of see. Hides it behind his ear well.
Yeah, to me, I think this would be just a little bit disconcerting.
Yeah, it's something you don't see all the time. You're used to a little bit more traditional arm action. Then all of a sudden, you don't know what pitch is coming.
Lucas Giolito had a little bit something like that, too, that he kind of worked through. You're almost waiting for that ball to come out of those fingers, and it comes out a little quicker than you're thinking, and Johnson Jr. goes down on strikes. I'm a believer sometimes when you're a little bit unique or a little bit different, that's a positive for you.
Sure, and the shortening of the arm path, too, Joe Kelly did it. Lucas Giolito, they made adjustments later after they got to the big leagues and so forth, too, whether it was something mechanical that kind of helped them with certain pitches and so forth.
Noah Osterman, next man in. Another one of our Georgia natives. Says he's a good skier for a redneck. I'm not sure what exactly that means. Pitch a little bit up and out. I don't know where you ski around here, but I'm sure you can find someplace.
That was my thought process. I don't think there's much snow in Georgia.
Maybe you go north to Tennessee. Maybe there's some hills up there. I don't know. 2-0 the count. And that one just got away from Emerson, so it'll provide a free base as Jimenez trots to third. Kyle Tucker coaching at third base. He's from Cartersville High School, just up the road, that at one time produced a pretty good football player by the name of Tyler Lawrence. Clemson and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Also, 2 Yankees, believe first rounder. Anthony Sigler pitched with both hands, catcher.
Trevor Lawrence, of course. 3-0 pitch is up and out, and that is ball 4. So a couple of walks this inning. He's got 3 runs with 2 outs last inning for the difference in this game. Max Kimbrell now will bat.
Kimbrell's a guy we'll see later on the mound, too, that works up into the 80-mile-an-hour range.
Way back when, in the minor league recesses of my life, there was a pitcher from Hartselle, Alabama named Steve Woodard, went on with the Brewers from the small town that Max Kimbrell calls home.
It's interesting to see, too. There's so many thought process with hotbeds of sports throughout the country, and then you get big leaguers from small towns like that.
That's what's fun, right, about our game? He listed all the events he's played in, and it felt like took about half a page of his bio, and I just enjoyed kind of following his progress this year. He said he's learned to control his emotions on the mound, becomes a little better at situational awareness, maybe even focus on his approach at the plate and how to make small adjustments within the course of a game. Well, now he's ahead 3-0. Couple of runners in scoring position. He will take ball 4. So a couple of 2-out walks has given the East team a chance to do a little more damage as we continue to cycle through this lineup for the first time, and Trey Vandergriff will be the hitter.
That's the thing, too. These guys play so many games and practice so much, too, and see different types of situations. As Coach Klesco talked about last night at the banquet, that baseball's a game of failure, and how you kind of push through it and persevere through and get to the next level, and those are the guys that typically have success for a long time.
You know, and I think it's a message that you understand, but it's one that you continue to talk about, you continue to learn about, because it's what makes this game so tough. They adjust to you. You have to find the adjustment back, pitcher to hitter, whatever the case may be.
Absolutely, and it's like, think about it, you have to have a short-term memory and go after the next pitch or the next at-bat or the next error and so forth, too, because things like that are going to happen.
Good look at Vandergriff. Takes one high. His father, Bob, played football at Utah, but then after college had a 25-year career as a professional race car driver. Driving some dragsters, and they can go over 300 miles an hour in less than 4 seconds. So if you need some adrenaline, that might be the sport for you.
Yeah, talk about high-pressure situation there.
Talk about reaction time. Maybe that translates, I don't know, to baseball. Good pitch in there for a strike.
Yeah, 300 miles an hour in 4 seconds.
Yeah.
Might be tough to hit.
No thanks. 2-1 pitch from Emerson. Drifts off the corner. So now let's see if he brings one over the plate that Vandergriff might have a chance to do some damage on. And that's going to be ball 4. That's 3 straight walks, all coming with 2 outs after the strikeout of Brian Johnson Jr. Forces in a run. Now 4-2 East lead.
That's the thing, too, kind of in this all-star format, and they're 12 years old. They come out a little bit amped up knowing they're only throwing 1 inning instead of just slowing down that heartbeat and throwing strikes and doing what they normally do.
Austin Coleman, we saw him on the mound just do a great job. Steps in and takes a strike.
Yeah, he came on with traffic in a different situation, maybe that he's seen before, and continued to throw strikes and slowed everything down.
Austin Diesel Coleman, Tennessee native. Finds himself now down in the count.
That's the thing, too, with Emerson's arm stroke. He almost cuts the fastball just because of where it's coming out of. So it's almost like a different pitch just based on that.
No, I think you're right. Coleman is a tight end in football. Defensive end, also plays power forward and center in basketball. Has a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Had an uncle that played for the Chicago Cubs. He is going to wave and miss. The tag is applied and the inning ends. So in all, a couple of Ks for Emerson. East team got a run for a 4-2 advantage. And let's go back and listen in to Ryan Klesco and his conversations with these players.
Left center, right? Strike straight. Here, now watch. Where'd my energy go? Left center, middle. Here. It's there, in. There. Some of you guys on the ball away, you're in him. Right, your left-hand hitters, the energy's going the right field, and when the ball's away, where should you go?
Welcome back. Time now for our local cookers delivery of the game. Well, we saw some pitching early on, didn't we, John?
Oh, yeah. Like we talked about in the open, Munsbacher came out, dotting fastballs, throwing that slider. It was impressive. 3 up, 3 down, or not 3 up, 3 down, 3 Ks in that first inning.
Well, he's going to be a lot of fun to watch going forward, as are several other of these young men who we've seen today. New pitcher coming on.
Steven Pio.
Right, I didn't have him pitching this inning, but I trust you that he's in there now.
Steven Pio, yeah.
So Pio's going to work the 4th. Pennsylvania native and Maddox McBride will lead things off. From Tomball, Texas. Big wave and a miss. Had a dad that played college football at the U.S. Naval Academy. Another brother at HBU. Grandfather who was drafted by the Braves as a pitcher. Was selected last year, and he knew a little bit about this Select Fest, and he's just thrilled to be back here. As many of these guys are, I think it kind of puts you on that path of just being recognized and honored, and one of the best at your age group in the country.
Yeah, and Maddox is part of that Banditos group as well, with the long winning streak, and like you said, 11U alumni, continues to be a battle-tested youngster.
He broke his nose and cheekbone during the middle of that amazing streak for the Banditos and had to miss 17 games, but was determined to come back from surgery better than ever. Less than a month after he had surgery, pitched the semifinal game of the PGI and helped his team win.
Yeah.
So It's been quite an adventurous summer.
Oh, yeah. I was there in South Haven, Mississippi. He had the face mask that we've come to see for NBA players and so forth, too, while he was on the mound.
Counts gone full to McBride, leading off the fourth inning for the West team that scored the first 2 runs of the game, but East has scored the last 4, and that's a wave and a miss. McBride offered at the high one and strikes out to begin the inning.
Yeah, we talked about Pio's aggressiveness at the plate, and he just rears back and fires here.
Tough to lay off that one. Cade Valdivia is in from California. Said this year he's learned to trust the process and know when the opportunity presents itself that he is ready. Played for a team coached by Blake Snell as he takes a strike. Really kind of enjoyed following Blake off a no-hitter a couple of weeks ago. Said even though he's a Dodger fan, that when Blake pitches, he'll root for him and the Giants. So he's made that concession to his new friend Blake Snell. A Dodgers fan that can root for the Giants every 5th day.
That's funny, too, and that's the type of thing you see from a 12-year-old for sure.
Drives one to right, hit well, way back to the trees, and caught. Boy, that ball kind of died once it got out there. Sounded good off the bat. Pio will take the out. Back in the shadows of the fence. Pio thought maybe he had given one up. The ball was caught. Here's Teague Emerson. Pio comes back and paints at the knees. Spray Jr. got back in the shadows to bring that one back.
That's a tough play right there.
And Emerson fouls one back and out of play. Sometimes you get lulled to sleep out there in the outfield, but all of a sudden, here comes the ball to find you.
So and it looked like he did a nice job of finding the fence there and making that play.
Emerson, again, an Oregon native. Love to play at Oregon State someday. He's a big George Kittle fan, the tight end for the 49ers, with the energy and the excitement he exudes. And as a Hawkeye, I can second that endorsement of George Kittle. And that pitch is called strike 3. How about Pio coming on and going 1-2-3?
Yeah, that was an impressive inning by Pio for sure. Went right to the fastball and, like we said, aggressive through the zone and did his job.
Back here on PGTV with Ray DeLeon, the head of the Banditos organization. There's a lot of talent represented from that organization, 13 total guys between the two select fests. And how about another number, 124-0? That's what your 12U team is this summer. What makes that group so special?
just a bunch of kids balling out. These kids are all about, the team concept, and they understand that it's not easy playing at this level, and they found ways to make it work, and we're just getting lucky. At the end of the day, it's all luck.
Two of those guys have won awards last night at the banquet. Jesse Soberall, Tyler Early. Tell me about them.
Soberall is we call him Godzilla because he's just he's a hitting machine. That's what he does. He's a master of the hitter, and that's what he does. He sees the ball, he hits it. And Tyler Early, that's the eighth wonder of the world. Everybody knows that. He's the best talent that I've seen in 30 years, and they both got bright futures, and I'm looking forward to see what the future holds for those two kids.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ray.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, the eighth wonder of the world. I do love that, but I would probably pick one nit. I don't think it's all luck.
Now, Ray does a nice job with those boys. I've seen him many times throughout my trek and journey through travel baseball.
All right, how about Jesse Maddox on the mound?
Yeah, Jesse's the SoCal guy we talked about in the opening. That smooth left-handed stroke, and now we're going to see it from the left side, running it up close to 80 miles an hour as well.
Mark Thompson is the leadoff hitter, so finally getting around to being able to bat twice over the course of the game. Jacksonville, Florida native, St. Joseph's Catholic School, 7th grade, and part of ZT National Prospects. Going to send this one in the air to very shallow center. Someone needs to call it, and the catch was made, but that got a little bit dicey. Valdivia put it away and didn't get hurt.
Did that bounce off Scoggin and Valdivia caught it?
If that was the case, we got to see this again. Was there a ricochet?
No.
3/4 of that baseball is outside the glove.
Yeah.
Aiden Spocker walked back in the first inning when he got a chance to bat, and he's going to face another lefty. He faced early in the first, and now getting Maddox here in the 4th inning.
Yeah, Maddox just showed off that breaking ball in a tough left-on-left matchup here.
Big deep breath before the pitch. Goes to the backstop. He's got the sleeve. He's got the wristbands.
Yep. He's got the chains.
Wave to miss. That was at the letters, and Calvin could not resist.
That's that pitch we talked about a bunch yesterday. It looks so nice. It entices you. Your eyes get big, and then it's above your hands.
Calvin, a North Carolina native, goes to American Leadership Academy. Serves one out to left, but foul. He'd love to play someday at NC State. Big Freddie Freeman fan. That went up around his lead shoulder. Maddox with a 3-2. Well played, strike 3 called. So a fly out to shallow center and a K for first two batters that this lefty is faced.
He did a nice job of painting the outer half there for strike 3.
Christopher Cabrera struck out looking in the first. Said it was an honor to be selected for this event 2 years in a row. To play against the best. CT National Prospects for Christopher.
I know we interviewed Miggy earlier, but if we did a side-by-side, I think it would look pretty similar.
I was thinking the same thing. Obviously, the number catches you with 24.
Sure.
But even facially, and you watching him grow from last year to this year, looks more and more like Dad.
Yeah, the stance slightly open. That patented hands there, and we talked about his hand speed earlier, that it's just something at another level.
Of course, he says he loves to watch Acuna play. And, we ask these kids about their parents and their siblings and whatnot. He just said, my dad played professional baseball. I would say he did. And in 4 years, he'll be in Cooperstown. But he said, Dad loves to teach me every day that I have to be humble and intelligent in the game. And, when you can learn humility from someone who had that type of career, that registers to me.
Sure, and that's the type of guy that Miggy is and how he is with all the kids, not just Christopher. And he tries to instill that have fun type mentality while being humble and continuing to learn the game.
What an inning from Maddox, though. 3 batters faced, 3 retired, couple of Ks. Halfway done, we go to the 5th inning in our 12U Select Fest from East Cobb. Well, let's take a look and a look back at our Yacker Tech home run of the game here in our 12U Select Fest. James Watson shooting one out to right. This ball got out in a blink of an eye, just disappeared into the Georgia trees. Little bat flip for good measure. And I believe Bria is standing by with our home run hitter.
James, you're the man of the hour. Playing at your home field, you're an East Cobb Astro playing here at your home field. How did it feel to hit that one over here?
Felt really good because he just threw me a fastball down the middle. I was coming in here just not trying to strike out, just trying to get a hit, and he threw me a fastball down the middle. I barreled it, went opposite field, and it went over.
You have a little bit of a quieter demeanor when you're talking to me, but that bat flip was loud. Where did that come from?
I don't know. It just came out as soon as I hit it and I knew it saw it go over. I don't know. It just came out. That's what happened.
We talked about how you improved your batting average, plus 100 points over the past season. What have you been working on to do that?
Basically just trying to not strike out as much and trying to get up to all the pitches outside and basically just not striking out as much, hit more singles. But I used to just strike out a lot.
Well, now you just hit a home run in the 12U Select Fest. Congratulations. Thanks so much, James. Back to you guys.
That helps. Don't strike out as much, but I think involved in that was the aspect of, taking your base hits when you get them, work that outside corner, and to me, that's a pretty good understanding of how you would stage a game plan to have a higher batting average.
Sure, and that's that refinement, that advancement, that continuance to get better and just simplify things where now we get the barrel there on time, and if you're strong and you have good bat speed, you're going to get the singles are going to turn doubles, homers eventually.
I like that thought process. Christopher Cabrera on to pitch. We've cycled back to the top of the lineup here in the 5th inning with Raylen Hunter for the West team. They had a couple of runs in the second, but since then, East Squad has scored 4 runs. Hunter struck out back in the first. South Carolina native.
See if Raylen can get things started here for the West squad.
Shanks went back and out of play. Young man was a premature baby. He weighed 3 pounds when he was born for Hunter. So every year he walks in the March of Dimes in his community, walks on behalf of premature babies. And even though he was born really small, Ray become quite a good athlete and baseball player, even though he plays football and basketball. So whether it's a wide receiver in football or whatnot, he plays them all.
Yeah, and Hunter's somebody we saw last November at the National All-State Games, and I remember hitting the ball down the line and simply floating around all the way for a triple, and I was like, oh, my God.
Levitating?
Yeah.
Cabrera put a little fear in Hunter with that pitch. Working with Briggs, who took one off the kneecap earlier in the game, but stayed in. And that pitch misses in, so Hunter will walk. Here to begin the top of the fifth inning of this 8-inning 12U Select Fest from East Cobb. Right there, he looks a lot like Dad, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, whether it's the number, the name, the side profile.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities there.
Here's Tyler Early, and heard his travel ball coach Ray DeLeon just a moment ago call him the eighth wonder of the world.
And listen, that's not a newly coined term by Coach DeLeon. I've heard it quite a few times, and listen, Tyler backs it up. Nice pick there from Briggs on that little breaking ball.
Says his parents inspire him to be the best version of himself, facing Cabrera here, so a fun matchup. Throw to second base, doesn't quite make it in time. Hunter gets the bag. Not a bad pitch by Cabrera. Briggs tried to throw out Hunter, but the West is the runner in scoring position with nobody out.
Yeah, and you can hear Mama Early in the background just telling Tyler to have fun.
That one's going to ride away and go to the backstop, so Hunter will move up to third with nobody out. .30 pitch, rides off the corner, and that is ball four. So a couple of walks here in the fifth inning. And now you're getting to the heart of the lineup. Jesse Maddox, Leland Henry on deck. I think Coach Klesco is working on a sandwich, coaching first base. He had the sandwich in one hand. He was trying to instruct Tyler Early in the other.
That Georgia heat, I guess it makes you hungry.
I don't blame him. Kind of made me hungry. Maddox struck out, but reached on a wild pitch back in the first. Right now, Cabrera's getting all kinds of run, and it'll go to the backstop and provide a run for the West team. And it's really hard for Briggs to handle it. That pitch is just kind of carrying further away out of the zone.
Yeah, it's just a little thing we talked about, that amped up situation. He rushes a little bit and doesn't stay closed long enough.
That just kind of took off. Maddox out of San Diego. Ground ball rolled softly to short. A little bit of a double clutch. And the throw, what happened? Throw get away? It did. So a run will score, and Maddox will be given second base. know if Thompson had a hard time kind of getting that ball out of his glove for a split second. He was trying to be fast. The throw just squirted away. It must have gone into the dugout. And Leland Henry, who walked in his previous plate appearance, fouls one back.
Yeah, big swing there by Leland, trying to do some more damage to get his West team out in front.
Maybe the best pitch from Cabrera.
Yeah, nice little wrinkled, disrupted timing there. He went fastball, breaking ball. See what he goes to next here.
Strike three called. Painted on the outside corner, so Cabrera backed up the breaking ball, locates on the next, and gets the K.
Yeah, nice little sequence there from Christopher.
Aiden O'Farrell from Puerto Rico in, and certainly the base runner at second base, Maddox, has caught the attention of Cabrera. Throw to third.
Really nice play there by Briggs.
Boy, Briggs has been waiting for an opportunity to gun down a runner, and he did. Close but out.
Got him. Yeah, and that was a nice play on a breaking ball from Briggs, and didn't hesitate, got it out of his hand quickly for the out.
See, Cabrera's hit 81, his top velo. Now the base is empty, 2 gone. O'Farrell says the transition from Puerto Rico to play in Florida was a great adjustment for him. The pitching was stronger, the players were faster, and made him work harder. I think that all makes perfect sense.
Sure.
And in part, I'm guessing that's why he did it.
Of course, yeah. Listen, make it more competitive, get better, continue to grow as a player for sure.
We'll take ball 4, so the inning continues. That caught stealing at third looms a little bit larger. Kingston George, the home run derby champion from earlier today, batted with the bases loaded, struck out back in the first, will hit again here in the 5th inning. He was trying to do some damage. That was power against power.
Yeah, big situation here with 2 outs.
Big wave and a miss. I could be wrong on this. There. It was from Cabrera. There was a former big league power hitter by the name of Mark Reynolds. It feels like George kind of has a similar bat hold or stance.
Yeah, that little preset in the back there. Yep.
I would agree. Hello. Farrell continues his path around the bases. Keeping everybody loose. The bat snapped in half. I told you George had some bat speed, but that wasn't what I was expecting. He snapped it in 2. And the inning ends. Something you don't see every day. Watch the bat go flying. The handle stayed in the hands. The barrel did not.
it feels brand new. That's crazy. I feel no pain. That's like crazy. Zero pain. Zero. That's crazy, dude.
Like, I can't feel my traps anymore because they've been going and they're super loose now. But my legs, it almost feels like somebody's just like, bump, bump, bump. It feels like you're getting a massage, free massage.
Shoes my pros, no better way to go.
The weather is warm and it's the perfect time of year to cook outside. Loco Smart Temp griddles provide precise and controllable griddle surface temperatures ranging from 250 degrees all the way up to a sear setting. The cooking temperature always stays exactly where you set it, so your meal always comes out just right. Cultivating great experiences is part of our DNA, and everyone has a seat at our table. So pull up a chair, cook faster, and party longer with Loco Cookers.
Another tight game. Had one yesterday and a 4-4 contest heading to the bottom of the fifth. One hit, though, for the West team for their 4 runs. Now Team East looking to regain their advantage, although Bowen Landry is on to pitch.
Yeah, and Bowen's going to be another one into the low 80s. Loose whippy arm. Got a little bit of like Jake Peavy, Aaron Nola-ish to him.
That's interesting. You've intrigued me with that already. He's going to face the heart of the East lineup here at the bottom of the fifth inning as we work second time through. These teams batting 18 apiece. Takes a little while to kind of get your second at bat, and then you're not sure if you're going to get a third. There's Godzilla. Jesse Soberall Jr.
Yeah, we heard Coach DeLeon call him Godzilla. I like to call him a cyborg because literally all he does is hit.
Yeah, 55 homers, 184 runs batted in this year. I mean, and the Banditos, so Texas heavy, but this young man from Yonkers, New York, goodness. That wasn't much fun to wait 4 innings for that. Let's give him a moment. Even Godzilla needs a moment. Aye. Between the 2 and the 1. You like to walk it off and say it doesn't hurt? It hurts.
Oh, yeah, that's an 80-mile-an-hour fastball from 50 feet.
Yeah, in the spine.
Jesse thought they were teammates.
Now batting, number 16, Mason Miller.
Mason Miller, next man in. Drilled out to center, but caught. That was one of the harder hit balls, John, that we've seen today, but handled by Hunter.
Yeah, and we saw Miller in the home run derby, too, where he looked like he was hitting literal 3 irons. I think that's what you said, Brett, where it was just crazy exit velo, low line drives that were getting out of the park. He's one of the guys that we saw in batting practice yesterday, too, just hit the ball hard consistently.
He's a Mason Miller who doesn't throw 100 miles an hour or break his hand punching a dugout, but he is out nonetheless. And Landon Davis struck out his only time in as Soberall feeling good now, able to advance to second.
That's kind of the cool thing of this type of game. Soberall, Landry teammates throughout the summer, and then they get to face each other, and there's still bragging rights to be had.
Yeah, that's fun. The game within the game. Ground out to second.
Now batting, number 22, Raymond Minaya.
Let's take a look at our Diamondcast Plus stat of the game. 18 total strikeouts. Speaking of the fact that we've had some walks, we've had some hit batters and whatnot, but these pitchers have been really tough to square up.
Yeah, and that's something we've kind of mentioned with this group where we had 14 guys out of the 16 potential arms that we're going to throw that we're going to creep into the 80s, and we've mentioned those breaking balls and just their ability to spin it. So it's obviously a testament to what's going on here on the mound.
That ball lifted high in the air, deep center field. Will the ballpark hold it? The answer is no, and that is gone. Up, out, and over the fence for a home run. Minaya connects for the 2-run shot to straightaway center field. He's got a couple of hits in this game.
Yeah, and that time he stayed through the big part again. He shot that ball to left field in his first AB and then got the fastball here and went down and got it and drove it out to center.
I think he knew it. Into the trees, a 2-run shot for Raymond Minaya. Teammates waiting for him at home plate. Stephen Pio now in. Seen him on the mound and getting another opportunity to bat. He drove in a run with a single back in the second inning.
He's had himself quite the game thus far.
Pitch poked foul down the right field side. Out of play. West team able to come back and tie it up at 4, but that home run from Minaya puts the East team back in front. It's a wide stance from Pio. Two balls, 2 strikes. Get away from Landry. When do we get to see the footage from the GoPro cameras on the helmets?
I don't know. That's our social team there out on the field. If you see them running around with their cameras and so forth too, the cool experience that they kind of bring to the game as well. They'll get that cut up and posted on to our social accounts.
We'll have to be patient. That's ball 4 to Pio. He's going to walk to continue this 5th inning.
Now batting number 11, James Watson.
Speaking of home runs, James Watson was the man who homered earlier. And then there's our social team in play, so to speak. Let's hope that camera and everything's protected. Watson homered, though, in the second. We heard from him with Bria, and now he gets the bat, looking for another opportunity to do some damage.
Yeah, Landry looks a little amped up after the homer. Just needs to settle that heartbeat and throw strikes.
Pretty good pitch there to get the wave and a miss.
You see when he kind of slows down and stays over the rubber, he's got that extra life to the fastball.
I think just as you said it, we saw it kind of play out in that last pitch. Watson kind of threw that bat at that pitch late to spoil it. Remember, he told Bria he was trying to cut down on his strikeouts, work on those pitches on the outside corner, take his singles when necessary. See if he can do that here. Pio at second base with 2 outs. Landry's hit 81, his top velocity. Another free base. So Pio walked with 2 gone. He's advanced to second, now to third on wild pitches. Two and 2. Count to James Watson.
Good play by Aguilar there to save a run.
James Watson says he has a little brother that's going to be better than him. Can't wait for that. Ground ball to short. Nice play. Was the ball handled? It was. Watson is retired. The inning ends, but the East team got a couple of runs on a home run from Raymond Minaya. He went dead center on the first pitch. Put the East team back in front. Hey, let's take a look at our Rawlings Gold Glove Defensive Play of the Game. Rawlings, the #1 glove of pro players, the official glove of Major League Baseball. How about that catch? We thought that ball was going to get out, but Spray Jr. was waiting for it at the fence in the shadows.
Yeah, he did a nice job finding the fence there on Pio. Thought the ball was gone off the bat, but he tracked it well to the fence and caught it.
Got to hydrate today in Hotlanta. We've been playing 5 innings on the way to the 6th of what is an 8-inning game. New pitcher is Noah Osterman on to work here in the 6th against the West team. They have 4 runs on 1 hit. Let's see what Osterman can do. Good pitch to Bowen Landry. Just saw Landry on the mound, and now he gets to step in the box.
Yeah, and Osterman's another guy, if you saw the stat line up there, over 100 strikeouts and just 18 walks.
Landry was hit by a pitch way back in the 2nd. Scored one of a couple of runs for the West team as they got on the board first. Boy, that is a chopper. Up there a long time, and how about the infield base hit? That had some hang time on the bounce.
Yeah, that was a tough play for Osterman going towards the line. Wasn't able to spin.
This is the difficulty of a left-handed pitcher who falls to that third base side. Paxton Scoggin walked and scored back in the 2nd as well. Oklahoma native, Silo, Oklahoma. Dad played 4 years of baseball at Southwestern Oklahoma State, Weatherford. Paxton had 4 homers in the PG World Series. Really standing close to that plate. Jammed a bit. Those are 2 soft ground balls for 2 base runners this inning.
Yeah, and it looked like base runner may have caught Miller's eye there, or trying to turn the double play. He just rushed it a little bit there.
You know, with the size of these bases, or the lack thereof, almost feels like you got to commit to a play. You know, you got to know that either you're going to try and get that to the flip, or you're going to let the base runner go by, because anything that absorbs in that carpet's going to make it tough to have enough time to make a play.
Speed up just a tick and take your eye off the ball for 1 second, and then there you go.
Boston Targach struck out looking at his only time in, and that ball's going to squirt away. So free bases for both base runners, Landry and Scoggin.
Nice pitch there from Osterman to get ahead in the count.
Yeah, I've liked his pitches so far. He hasn't been rewarded with the results, although he gets a wave and a miss right there for the first out. So he could easily be with a couple of outs in the inning and a runner at first base. Now he's kind of running uphill just a bit.
Yep. He's working that bottom of the zone well with the fastball and getting a bunch of weak contact here.
Creedy Peeps. Creed Peoples from Austin, Texas, takes strike 1. He keeps asking me to call plays for him. Apparently he thinks I need to be broadcasting in a video game or something. So we've had some good conversations.
Yeah, Creed's one of those guys. Anytime he sees you, he's trying to ask you a question.
Uncle Nick played on the 2005 Texas National Championship team. Dad played baseball at Texas All-American. Was a Cleveland Indians first-round pick. Bounce to short, his only time in. And all of a sudden, Osterman's really dealing.
Yeah, he's kind of zoned it in there, working both sides of the plate with the fastball, just working that bottom half and getting plenty of swing and miss here.
Pitch had some ride to it. Osterman's nickname 7. He's wearing uniform number 7. Did George Costanza want to name his son 7?
Yes, he
Mr.
did.
Mickey Mantle? Okay. This is Nunez. He singled his only at bat. Another one of the Texans. I was with Craig Biggio for the last 2 years of his career. There's a Jersey boy for you, and I just called Craig 7 too.
Yeah. Hey, if it fits, it fits.
Good pitch in there for a strike.
And Osterman's kind of a little bit deceiving with that lower arm slot and kind of cuts the fastball on occasion there and then dots that outer half.
And that big chopper goes foul off the bat of Nunez. Giancarlos J.C. Nunez. Says his summer has been awesome. He's learned a lot from the experiences. Each game has taught him new strategies and made him more confident. Also says might surprise us, but he really enjoys cooking different recipes and trying them out at home. So
1 ball, 2 strikes.
He's got some talents that most of these guys don't have.
Yeah, who would have thought?
1 ball, 2 strikes to count. And Osterman gets strike 3. So he gave up an infield single on a chopper, an error behind him. Then he went strikeout, strikeout, strikeout. Well done, young man. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning.
One, two, three, work.
My bat's better than any other bat I've used last year. This bat just has more pop than any other wood bat that I ever used. Wood bat league gonna go crazy this summer, and these bats are absolutely juiced.
Players want to maximize their potential.
They are chasing the wrong thing.
Being better is personal.
What works for one player doesn't work for all players.
Players need to be told what they're good at, what they're not good at, and what they need to work on.
They need to be given a personalized plan to help them get to where they want to be.
That's how players get better.
That's how they maximize their potential.
That's how they become great.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us as we build the future of intelligent players.
Back here on PGTV with Creed Peoples, hanging out with him in the West dugout. It's your first Select Fest. How's it been so far?
You know, it's been great getting to hang out with all the guys like at all times, and then getting to come to practice and the games and the home run derby. It's just a great experience, and then you get to just have fun and see everyone at all times, and it's like, I don't know, they kind of just take care of you for 2 days straight.
Part of the reason why you're here is because you get a lot of help from your dad, Danny, who's a Texas baseball legend. What's it like getting to work with him?
It's great. He's great. I mean, he's best down the world, first of all. And also, you know, he helps me a lot with my swing and hitting, and he makes sure that I'm ready every single time to get up at the plate and be ready to hit the baseball.
Well, Kingston George in the dugout over here has been absolutely demolishing a burrito the entire game. What would be your in-game snack?
You know, Chipotle, gotta get that burrito bowl. But, you know, gotta cut down on a little bit because you can't be too top heavy. You gotta go run fast because, you know, I'm fast.
We'll see what we can do for you, Creed. Back to you guys.
Yeah, I liked a lot about that interview. You know, and if I have the right team, I think it was 2005, I mentioned that his dad was part of. That was the incredible team under Augie Garrido. Drew Stubbs was part of that squad. Taylor Teagarden, another. A talented team in Austin. Meanwhile, new pitcher, Maddox McBride on to pitch. Sam LaCure, another on that squad.
Yeah. McBride's another member of that Banditos team. Battle-tested guy out here. Played first base a little bit earlier. We saw him in the home run derby as well.
Jason Spray, J2. Jason Spray Jr. got a base hit back in the second. It's a chopper back to the mound. That was a nice play by McBride.
Yeah, showing off the athleticism there. He's got that atypical big Texas right-hander look, but he showed off the athleticism there in the nimble feet.
You know, on this carpet, that ball gets over your head. In the big leagues, they might tell you, let it go. But here, I think the thought process is, I'm going to make that play. I'm not going to let that bounce again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough for an infielder to come get that, the shorter bases, make that play. Pitcher's got to go get what they can get.
Luca Briggs, Briggy Briggs, straight A student. He's a big fan of Christian Moore, and why not? I mean, that's a kid that went from Tennessee after winning a national championship, and I think hit 5 homers in his first 20 plate appearances.
Yeah, absolutely. Ranks. Yeah, and the Angels aren't afraid to kind of promote those guys. We saw it with Nolan Shanuel last year. Who knows? Maybe Christian Moore might be up very soon.
Well, you might be onto something because they need help. Lots of it. Chesterfield, Virginia native, facing McBride. There'd be no surprise that Briggs would like to play at Tennessee. Said he spent many hours watching previous PG Select festivals on YouTube, and his goals were to make this Select Fest. So his dad received a phone call in the airport on the way home from PGI, and he said he felt like right then that he had accomplished one of his goals. And as he takes first, you just talk about the guy. Well, he's taken a beating, though, today in this Select Fest, both defensively and now in the box. But just reading about how much this means to these kids to get that call and to be selected is really heartwarming.
Sure, and this is the thing, too. We see them throughout the year, through the kind of the selection process. Myself, Tony Harper, our National Operations Director in the youth space, and just to hear them after we make those phone calls for the selections and how excited they are and all the hard work and the emotion that's put into it, it's definitely something that's awesome from our standpoint to kind of be a part of.
Feel like Santa Claus when you get to make that call?
Sometimes.
Like you're granting a wish like a genie?
I don't know. My beard might make me look like Santa Claus.
Cohen, the Hammer Ward, bounced to second his only time in from Kennesaw. Lost Mountain Middle School, 7th grade, part of the East Cobb Astros. Drilled out into left center. It's going to drop for a base hit. Briggs will continue to the plate and able to just beat it. And Ward continues to second. That didn't have the looks of double and RBI off the bat.
Nope, just out of the reach of the shortstop there, and Briggs made a good read and continued home and slid across there for another run for the East squad.
Briggs got turned around, and then he waited to make sure that ball was down. I thought he might be held up. You'll see it right here. I thought he might be held up, but he got the wave, and beat the throw at the plate. Miguel Jimenez walked and scored his only time in. Young man out of the Bronx. Big Juan Soto fan, and like Soto, puts a charge into that baseball, and it is gone. Big things come in little packages, and he's got the camera in his hand as he trots around the bases. Jimenez with the long ball, adding to the lead for Team East.
Yeah, he didn't hesitate there. He saw a fastball up and elevated and celebrated right there.
Indeed he did. Let's see it again. Hanging breaking ball. You hang it, I'll bang it. You know, going to games in Kansas City as a youngster, it was always fun to see big leaguers hit balls up onto the berm and see where the balls would land. What's fun here is they just quite frankly disappear into the Georgia trees.
Yep.
Gone forever.
Oh, yeah, we saw balls approaching the house in center field and during the home run derby finals.
Hugs and high fives in the dugout. 9-4 our score. And Johnson Jr. was trying to follow with a long ball of his own. Chattanooga, Tennessee native. Says his body has been changing, and we talked about these guys growing and whatnot, and he said he's worked on body flexibility to deal with those limbs, and I think that's an advanced thought process too.
Yeah, and Brian last year was our MVP at the 11U, and if you looked at him just in pictures from now till then, and it's like, wow. There's Tony Harper, our perfect game national operations director. I've talked about him numerous times. His devotion and kind of passion for the game at this level is something second to none as he continues to kind of try to grow this space into. So big shout out to him for what he does for these guys.
Well, he's looking like Joe Cool today down in the dugout.
Always.
Johnson Jr. went down on strikes. And this is Osterman. He was really impressive on the mound in the top of this inning. And batting here in the bottom of the frame after 3 runs have come across for Team East, part of a 9-4 East lead. Fouled right back to the screen. Noonan, Georgia native. Griffey Jr. fan, Bo Jackson fan. Going back to those retired greats. Two good ones.
2 pretty good ones to look up to there.
Yeah, they're worth a Google, that's for sure. To go back and look at those highlights. Noah walked when he batted in the 3rd inning. McBride trying to rear back and pump, and he's going to get the swinging strike 3. So a couple of strikeouts for McBride to finish off the inning. 3 runs came across, though, 2 on 1 swing from Miguel Jimenez. Little guy with a big swing and a 2-run homer. He knew it. East extends the lead. Well, it's time now for the Launch Hydrate game summary. Pitchers kind of dominated early. We've seen tremendous velocity and some strikeouts, fastballs, breaking balls, you name it. This is Maidenspacher back in that first inning, one of many that really impressed us today. All of a sudden, then the offense would kick in a little bit later on. Coleman, though, got to go an extended sequence. He had to pitch some in the second, struck out all three batters he faced in the third. So yeoman's duty, and very successful was Coleman as well. This was the home run by James Watson in the second inning for the East team. It'll be the first of a handful of home runs we have seen today. He knew it. Enjoyed the bat flip and the celebration at home plate for the Georgian James Watson. How about this ball, though? Launched as well by Raymond Minaya. He went dead center and out for the home run, helping extend the lead for the East team. They had 3 more runs in the 6th, including a Jimenez homer. And now Max Kimbrell on the pitch here in the 7th. Hartselle, Alabama. See his numbers on the season.
Yeah, Kimbrell's going to be another guy we talked about. That continuation of the 80-mile-an-hour plus arms. As you can see, long-levered kid from Alabama is going to try to keep it unscathed here for the East squad as they extended their lead.
Ashton Aguilar will bat. Bounce to third his only time in. Second opportunity in the game. California kid who'd love to play at the University of Florida.
Come all the way across the country.
Two-time Select Fest selection.
Yeah, and Ashton's one of those guys you see in 12-year-old baseball, multi-dimensional athlete, plays middle infield, but also is a very good catcher and can also get there on the mound and impact the game at the plate.
The guy loves to watch plays. Raylen Galvan, a catcher at Texas, who trains and practices with him in Santa Barbara, California. Guys like Soto and Tatis Jr. Pretty good pitch.
That was a good breaking ball there by Kimbrell.
Likes to surf and skimboard, so you know he's from the coast. Likes to surf for Aguilar. Works the count full. West team needs some runs in this 8-inning game. Fouled right back. Good cut by Ashton.
Yeah, and you can see that continued theme where we're talking about the pitchers and so forth. Kimbrell's doing it with a low effort kind of operation, and the ball just kind of explodes out of his hand, carries through that strike zone.
And he gets the wave of the miss out of all that, does Kimbrell. So he earned that strikeout. First out here at the top of the 7th inning.
Nice little tight breaking ball there on the outer half for strike 3 there.
Brandon Sweeney in out of Newport Beach, California. Which had some ride over the inside corner for a wave and a miss. A lot of drills he really enjoys doing. He loves to do a roll ball fielding drill. Various different speeds. Helps him get ready for a game and whatnot. Loves to collect as many baseball gloves as he can, too. And a big Corey Seager fan. Brandon Sweeney. And who inspires him is his coach, Phil Caulfield, who, despite being 5'8", went on to play at Loyola Marymount, was drafted by the Nationals. Might not have been the biggest, but he played hard, worked hard, and passes along those thoughts to Brandon Sweeney. That pitch has some arm side run, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Like we said, it just explodes out of his hand.
And those hitters are kind of crowding that inside chalk or paint, and then even if they make contact, that's probably not going to end well.
Yeah, too. Kimbrel's got what you'll see as he kind of get older, a low release height, so he gets that launch, that low launch on the baseball, and it's a difficult kind of thing as it has that ride through up the zone, the mythical backspin type stuff.
No, it's well explained. Kind of a slinger a bit, Evan Kilo bats, and you can see it on that last pitch. He's not over the top. He has that thing down a little bit with a different release point. Then you expect that run in, and he cuts one away.
Yep. Yeah, and he's kept that kind of tunneling it well, that slider, that nice firm slider tightness to the break there.
One ball, 2 strikes the count. Kimbrel trying to strike out the side. Evan Sestoon, who's enrolled in the gifted program in his school in Mississippi, 7th grader. Would like to play for the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Able to put that one in play. Slow roller to short. Handle, though, to end the inning by Mason Miller. Well done. Stretch time here at the Select Fest.
First, it was just a team. Now I can't imagine my life without them.
That coach changed our son, on the field and off.
Creed People, we just heard from him with Bria not that long ago, and the left-hander is on the pitch here in the bottom of the 7th against Team East.
And Creed would be another one. You see that 96 strikeouts to just 16 walks on the year, 2.56 ERA and 52 innings pitched. Another guy who will creep up there close to 80, throw a bunch of strikes, and as you saw with his personality, he's got a good one.
Another Texan wearing number 34 on the mound, too. That is a number that they all wear. And I can't tell if it's Nolan or Kerry or whatever generation it is. They all wear it.
Oh, yeah.
And usually it comes from Dad, kind of passing that thing down.
Absolutely.
Just saw Kimbrel on the mound, and, well, he was fun to watch pitch. Now we get to see him back.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an impressive inning from the young right-hander from Alabama. Like we said, he kind of sequenced and tunneled it well with that explosive arm side run on the fastball, and then snapped off a couple pretty tight breaking balls.
Number 27, Max Kimbrel.
Max Kimbrel from Alabama. He says, the greatest challenge of being an athlete at this young age is just time. You play year-round sports. They overlap. Have to figure out how to be a student and an athlete and be able to compete. And working hard at pushing through mentally when your body and mind were tired. And I think those that can figure that out early, that carries over from one year to the next.
Sure, and that's an amazing piece of wisdom kind of from a 12-year-old, as they kind of build their maturity levels and that mental awareness as they kind of get older.
Two on is outside. That's going to provide a base runner. Kimbrell walks to begin the seventh. Trey Vandergriff up, so we'll get through this lineup at least twice for the East team. And more than likely we'll do the same as well for the West squad with 18 batting for both. Vandergriff took that one out of the glove of the catcher and sent it foul down the line and right.
A couple of Festival alums down the right field line there in Colin Anderson and Dexter McLeon Jr.
I saw Dexter was here taking pictures with some of the guys earlier today.
It's another thing that's just so awesome about kind of the Perfect Game platform. We get these guys coming back, being role models, being leaders to these younger generations. It's something that all of our tournament directors and all the guys that are involved with these types of games have just continued to build, and it's great to see these guys come back and participate in these games.
Yeah, I love that. That ball squirted away, and it's going to provide a free base for Kimbrell. Vandergriff, another one of the local kids. He's Cobb Astro. Love to play at Wake Forest someday. And right now he's trying to drive in Kimbrell from second base. Out to the plate. Vandergriff called it exciting, a huge honor to be a part of this event. I think Creed Peoples told Bria that earlier. You're just well taken care of for 2 days. Whether it's food or gear or experiences.
Yeah, they have an awesome time here, whether it's, like you said, a bunch of food, they get to hang out with their friends, play ping pong video games, get all that gear. It's a cool, really, really cool experience overall.
Always found those balls right down off his knee. I mean, he's using that bat as a cane right now. He's got that shin guard, but it doesn't seem to be catching the foul balls that he's hitting.
Nope, he's getting himself right in
twice?
Yeah, 2 times in this AB.
You hope it's not the same spot because that really hurts, but if you have 2 separate spots, that's not fun either.
No, not at all.
He might need a moment. I mean, sometimes the only way, you kind of laugh through the pain when you're up there because it's the only way that seems to alleviate any of the sting. Hard one hopper to short, wasn't backhanded. Ball kicks away, and Kimbrell will score. Vandergriff hit one pretty hard towards the shortstop Sweeney. Sweeney might have had time to kind of get in front of that, but he didn't think he did. Tried to take it off the carpet on a tough hop. High hop, maybe. And that provides the 10th run for Team East. Yesterday in the 11U Select Fest, Team West came out on top 7-5. Here's Coleman. It is a well-balanced East offensive lineup. Pitch rolls in there from Peoples for a strike.
Yeah, there's been a little bit of everything. We've seen some home runs, some good ABs, working the counts, seeing these pitchers out, obviously, with all their explosive stuff.
That's going to be a swing and strike 3, but first base is occupied, so Coleman is out, and Peoples gets the K.
Number 9, Mark Thompson.
Flash Gordon on his way out to the mound. Might have a pitching change here. We may not have a bottom of the 8th. just speculation, so we'll get a picture in here. Let's tell you about next Sunday, though. I want to encourage you to watch the perfect game, All-American Classic, really the highlight of the summer, 8 o'clock Eastern Time from Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona, home of the Diamondbacks. You can watch it here on Perfect Game TV. Other opportunities there on the graphic for you to watch the All-American Classic. Players that very easily we could see drafted next July after their senior year of high school baseball or whatnot. And always fun to see the stars of tomorrow today at the All-American Classic. Meanwhile, George is on to pitch. Kingston George.
Yeah, he's one of those guys for that Banditos team that I've seen come out to close a bunch of games out. As you can see, that minuscule .78 ERA.
And again, that's, I think, the fun aspect of this age group. Everybody bats. So oftentimes the great hitters are also good pitchers, and there will come a time, maybe in college or beyond, when you profile. You watched a guy like Jack Caglione this year pitch on Sundays and hit for Florida. He was probably the Gators' best pitcher for a team that made the College World Series. To me, he always profiled as a hitter, but I mean, he a few years ago in high school may have been highly thought of more as a pitcher than a hitter, so you never know when that change might take place.
Sure, and that's the type of thing, too. These guys are so advanced now that we see guys like Shohei trying to do both, and now it's matriculating down to the college game, and then when we see it here, and they're just such good athletes that, listen, there's a shot that it continues to happen as we kind of keep going here.
First one out in the bottom of the 7th inning. We've turned this lineup over for a third time. And Mark Thompson, who is 0 for 2, he's fly to center. He's gone down on strikes. See if he can get a select fest hit for the East team that's up by 6 runs. I love the bio on Mark Thompson. It says he loves his John Deere mower. So he can get back to Jacksonville and hop on that mower and maybe cut some of the grass.
It'd be nice after all of his for his parents to cut their grass.
These hitters aren't afraid to stand on that inside chalk of the batter's box. Big wave and a miss.
Yeah, and you see that life coming out of Kingston. We saw him win the home run derby. Just that fast twitch athlete. He's going to creep up towards 80 miles an hour, maybe above too.
Pitch is high, off and rolling, and a stolen base for Vandergriff. The East team keeps putting the pedal to the metal. J.C. Nunez working behind the plate this inning. Seen a handful of different catchers, usually working 2 innings at a time. And, there are multiple guys who can catch. It's also a nice break on this turf and this heat. Good pitch in there for strike 2. First batter that George has faced, relieving Peoples. Interesting time here to go over the signals on a 3-2 count, but wanting to make sure that there's no cross-ups.
Yeah, and I think they might just be like, hey, switching up the sequence of signs. Hey, we're going to do this time, just that time, as they haven't caught each other before,
Yeah, runner at second. That might be part of that thought process with what you mentioned. Drilled down the line and right, but foul.
3-2, full count.
Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the East 7th inning. There's a ground ball. It's going to be into left field for a base hit. Vandergriff to third. He will stop as the throw comes to the plate, and that was a good one. In from left by Maddox. So Thompson in his third at bat gets the base hit.
left field, number 5, Calvin Mensbacher.
Mensbacher, who's 0 for 1 with a walk, will bat. Still just 1 out this inning. Couple of runners in scoring position as Team East looks to add to its 6-run lead.
And George here just a little amped up. Like we said, high energy type guy. Just reel it in, do what he normally does.
Gets the strike call there.
That's the thing, too. Sometimes going to the breaking ball allows you to kind of stay back over the rubber, feel a little bit longer.
Well, he didn't spike that one, but it was down, and it's going to result in a wild pitch and a run coming across. Another run this inning. No, I talked about it before, John. It's just the distance and the velocity. These catchers can really fight it. And sometimes it's not even a pitch that has to bounce. You're expecting it to be up. It's a couple of feet away, and you just have a hard time moving that glove and getting it.
Yeah, and that's too. Listen, all these guys with all the velocity and them throwing harder and spin on the baseball and so forth, too. It's just they don't have enough time to actually get the glove there or beat the ball there.
Thompson comes across as well to continue to add to this lead. Now an 8-run cushion. Painted on that outside corner. Calvin not so sure, but that is the second out of the inning. And Christopher Cabrera, we've seen him pitch and bat a couple of times. Up for the 3rd time now in the game. We got 24 facing 24 here.
Jordan, these guys have kind of competed against each other, both with good personalities. It should be a big battle.
Talked about the strength and the size of these young men. I think it's on display here. See these two guys out there going at it?
Absolutely.
George has had a couple that he's missed the target on by a wide margin, so grabbing at that rosin bag behind the mound. Trying to recalibrate just a bit to get the final out of this inning. Cabrera tried to check his swing, but made contact. Do you have the same number of players for the 13U Select Fest? 36, 18 apiece, or do you go with a different roster limit?
We ended up with 38 in the 13U this year.
Another breaking ball for a called strike.
A little bit easier there. You have a couple POs as well.
And that is a wave and a miss. So George able to get a couple of Ks after the base hit. 3 runs come across. Team West coming to bat in the top of the 8th inning. 4
Here
runs
with
on
PG
2 hits.
Director of National Operations, Tony Harper. Tony, you're responsible for making this whole thing go around. Now that the weekend's almost over, what's been your favorite moment so far?
Really just seeing these guys come together, have a good time. I mean, they've competed all year long against each other, so having them all on, seeing them hang out at the hotel and the player lounge, just forming bonds that are bigger than the game is really what it's all about.
What's some of the behind-the-scenes work from your staff that goes into this?
Well, we started Monday on just separating all the gear out, and then it was a mad rush to get all the beds set up in their hotel room. So it's, a lot of work, but we got a great staff here to make it happen. So boys are worth it, definitely worth it.
Awesome, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Bria. Work never stops here for some of these big events. We're down maybe to the last half inning, but James Watson on the pitch. His team up big in this 12U Select Fest.
Yeah, let's see if he can finish things here off for the East. He hit that big homer early in the game. Been a part of some action here.
Didi has Canton, Georgia native, so he has pitching numbers as well. Part of the East Cobb Astros. Christian Cho getting to bat for the second time. So by my calculation, I think the one thing left to accomplish is you need to have 4 batters hit this inning to get everybody up twice.
Yes, sir. That'd be great.
Thinking like an event guy myself right there.
Mm-hmm.
Fouled away by Christian Cho. Cho went down on strikes when he batted in the 3rd inning. And he will take a strike. With the West having just a couple of hits, it has made it a little bit harder to kind of cycle through. Nunez had a single. Bowen Landry had a high chopping infield single, and I think that's it.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, the East pitching staff has kind of stymied the West offense here, despite what we thought potentially could be a back-and-forth affair.
Two balls, 2 strikes. There's a big chopper off the carpet. Big bounce, a little bit of a double clutch, but the throw to first is still going to be in time. Play handled by Thompson. Over to Cabrera. This was not an easy play.
No, he kind of got throw there. Yeah, fielded it flat-footed and then had to come and make that throw.
Maddox McBride. Next man in. He was trying to lift and launch.
Watson here, too. He's another guy. Looks similar to kind of Kimbrel, that low launch fastball, kind of riding through the zone with plenty of carry.
Good pitch in there for a strike to McBride. Likes to watch Jaron Duran, who's become one of those exciting players in baseball for the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, he may his entrance may have replaced the old trumpets as the best one in the game.
Pitch is going to ring up Maddox McBride, so Watson is recorded a strikeout after the ground out. It's caught enough of that inside corner, I guess, and that'll bring up Cade Valdivia, who flew out to right. Made a bid for a hit earlier. That was the one that Spray Jr. caught against the fence.
Back on the wall.
Might have been one of the better hit balls today by the West team, and yet it didn't result in a hit.
That's baseball for you,
It sure is. It's not a fair game.
Nope.
Wave and a miss, and Watson's come out pumping. Uh-oh, the Yeti cooler seems to be ready for action with a group of volunteers Water's ready. The camera's ready. What more do you need? One more strike, one more out, I guess. Team West down to its final out. Good pitching, 12 runs on the board today for Team East. They've hit 3 home runs. Watson, who's on the mound, is one of those. Jimenez, another. Don't forget Minaya. 2-2, and here comes the pitch that stays high. So Emerson on deck. He'd love one more chance to bat as well, but that cooler is just kind of creeping and inching out towards the turf.
Oh, yeah, they're getting ready.
There's a ground ball to short. It's going to be backhanded. The throw to first is not in time, so Emerson will get to bat, and everybody will get 2 ABs. That was a really nice effort at shortstop by Vandergriff. 3rd hit for the West. Boy, that's close.
That was close. Always like when a plan comes perfectly together.
I thought this was a certain base hit, and it was it was close. Emerson struck out in his at-bat way back in the 4th inning. So we had to wait to the 4th inning to get his first AB and wait to 2 outs in the 8th to get his second, but here he is. Pitch at the top of the zone for a called strike. So once again, the West team down to its final strike or out in the 8th inning. Now that cooler is even airborne. Job by Teague to slap at that one to spoil it. See another. Yesterday for the 11U Select Fest, the West took home the win. Here in the 12Us today, the East trying to do the same thing. Good take, and that one carried off the corner. Not a bad 0-2 pitch at all from Watson, who got a bounce out to second and a strikeout before the infield single. Fouled back. Big swing by Teague Emerson.
Yeah, he's not getting cheated up there, this AB.
Watson ready at the pitch. Missed outside. Again, that cooler is getting heavy, isn't it? It's starting to become somewhat cumbersome.
You would think.
Hard fastball and fouled right back again by Emerson, so the suspense builds for the East team. That one's coming back at us. Landed nearly on top of your head.
Well, I know, right? That was a close one.
Watson dreamed of playing in this game a year ago. He's homered in it. Boy, he's had a number of chances for that final strike or final out. And yet the West team continues to battle. Kenneth's gone full to Emerson. Strike 3 called. The beast of the East was on full display as the East rolls to a win in the perfect game. 12U Select Fest. And the Yeti took a tumble. Team East forms the dog pile here at East Cobb.
All that effort and it took a tumble.
Ice cubes everywhere. And let's hope everybody is okay as East rolls to a 12-4 win. I'd have a few rug burns after that celebration. We'll take a break and come back and wrap things up and award our MVP. A lot of guys to choose from. 12-4, Team East with the W. Eighth inning, 12-4 win for Team East. You see the 12 runs on 9 hits, the 3 homers, and Team West had just a handful of singles. But now you got to pick an MVP, and we'll find out soon enough. But there were a number of guys who kind of threw their names in the hat, so to speak, for Team East.
Yeah, you got James Watson, who hit the homer and came in to close it out. Raymond Minaya with the big bomb to dead center field. And even, I'd say, the whole 12 or the whole East squad pitching staff there too. You may be able to go there.
Let's check in downstairs with Tony Harper.
We're here to present with Charles Johnson the 2024 12U Perfect Games Select Festival Most Valuable Player. From Staten Island, New York, Raymond Minaya.
So I think Raymond Minaya is the winner.
MVP for the 12U Select Fest, Rayman Minaya from Staten Island. Raymond, you said it was your goal to make it to the Select Fest this year after one of your friends did last year. Yep. You didn't. Now you worked for it. How does the moment feel now that you're in it?
Feels so great, amazing to be here and the opportunity. Thank you.
Part of the reason why you're here is that work that you put in the Dominican Republic. We talked about the unique training that you do. Describe it a little bit.
It was amazing. You know, I worked hard for this moment and just successful at it.
What's been your favorite part of the weekend?
Going yard and having fun.
All right, thank you so much, Raymond. Congrats.
You're welcome.
Yeah, 2 parts of having fun or going yard and just enjoying the experience. And Team East gets the win today. So this has been a busy weekend here at East Cobb. The 11U's had their chance for their Select Fest yesterday, and the 12U's put on a show here this afternoon. That'll wrap it up, though, for the 12U Perfect Game Select Festival. For John McAdams and our entire crew, I'm Brett Holden. Thanks for watching. Be sure to catch the All-American Classic from Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona, 1 week from tonight, August 18th, 8 o'clock Eastern Time on PG.TV. This has been a presentation of Perfect Game, Team East with the win. Good afternoon, so long from East Cobb in Marietta, Georgia.